It is time for the Drew Yari Show. Drew Yari.
And it's insane that every time CM Punk talks, people just melt. They just melt down. And again, CM Punk, he was very, calm. He felt at peace in this interview, just air out his grievances, but he wasn't bitter. He didn't seem bitter to me, from listening to it in full. He wasn't any type of way bitter. He just wanted to get his piece out, his 2 cents out about everything. And yeah, I enjoyed it. And, it was I was more interested. I was interested in what CM Punk had to say, but it was more interesting to see the meltdown that all these people had that really, hate CM Punk. Like, just people that CM Punk doesn't know. They hate him, and again, it just goes to tribalism. But and then when we saw from Tenay, it just proved all the people that were critical, that are critical of AEW. Right? It's like, just stop going after WWE. Stop paying attention to CM Punk. If he doesn't matter. Because remember, and I'll give Justin the floor, but I think it was Mark Henry. He said, "Hey, the cancer is gone, so everything should be, everything should be good now." He said that, and it's not. So he lied. Like, we were lied to. We were told that once CM Punk was gone, the cancer was gone, and the cancer's still there. That environment, that mentality, that culture's still there. So it wasn't all CM Punk. Just CM Punk just brought it out to the surface. And yeah, it's just a lot has to change with that company. And I want it to succeed. I really do. But it's just not going to happen with that same toxic mentality. The same toxic mentality that they claim that CM Punk has fostered, and he's not even there. So that says a lot.
Before we get to Justin, I forgot to hit the record button. So
you did?
The first 14 minutes of the show.
Oh no!
The public won't hear. No, because I'm looking at Spreaker. I'm like, wait, why don't I see the time? I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot to hit record. No. I mean, we pretty much got right into, the beginning of what you were saying about Punk and situation.
Right.
But anyone listening, welcome to the show again. I forgot to press record for the first 14 minutes, but it's okay. We kind of, Ruben, kickstarted everything. Now we're about to pass the baton over to Justin from Spinebuster Tees and spinebustertees.com.
Yeah, I'm pressured to actually talk because I didn't have much to say because y'all covered it all. Yeah, pretty much long story short, first thing I gotta say is that, so remember when Punk said that, he went up to Jack Perry and about the glass spot backstage and saying like, hey, don't do it, don't do the spot. So remember it was said that Tony Schiavone went to Jack Perry and someone else went to Jack Perry, then it was CM Punk.
Yep.
Remember that part of the interview?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So my question is that where was Tony?
Not doing his job, apparently.
Not being a leader.
Where was Tony Khan? Was he there? Was he not there? Like, I don't know. We don't know that. Like, where was Tony Khan in the situation? Like, Punk was clearly running Collision, which when I said that months ago, I said that months ago. I'm like, okay, this is clearly CM Punk inspired, like 100%. That's number one. Number two, CM Punk stated that this brand split won't work, not as a sense of the brand split, it ain't gonna work because it's a brand split. It's not gonna work due to, hey, this is not gonna solve the issues of what's going on in the locker room of separating me and FTR and having the Young Bucks on and Kenny Omega on Wednesdays. Like, that's what he was saying in reference to that. So yeah, so I saw people on social media saying that, well, CM Punk thought the brand split wasn't going to work. Well, no, like he meant it as far as like the actual, having the locker room separated, having me separated from the fucking Young Bucks and the rest of the elite. So that's number 2. Number 3, thought the interview was excellent, right? Like just what Ruben said and what Drew said. I mean, I don't really have much to add to this whole conversation because y'all just covered it all already. I mean, Tony Khan needs to be a leader. He needs to be better at being a leader. Ever since All In, after he fired CM Punk, not really too much going on backstage in AEW as of yet, but there's probably still lingering problems, right? It's still probably like some people are still getting upset about whatever the case may be, and it has to stop. It has to start from the top down. Anything that's going on within that company of someone not being happy about something or someone speaking out or something happening, it starts from the top, and that's Tony Khan. You are a representation. Your company's a representation of yourself. So, so currently right now, AEW, what happened tonight with Edge, Adam Copeland going out there and basically doing a rah-rah speech about AEW, which is fine because, okay, you're the alternative. I get it. You feel that you need to respond, fine. But a better response is no response.
Yep.
Moving on, and just going business as usual,
right,
with your building up to Dynasty, right? Actually, they did some build up tonight. The last segment with Samoa Joe and Swerve right before I got here, I thought that was great.
Justin, let me cut you off. When you said like the best response is no response, I'll add something else. The best response is just put on a good show.
Well, of course, that they're gonna try to put the best show that they can, right? That's easy to say. Just put on a good show. Like, how hard it is to put on a good wrestling show week to week to week to week to week, and WWE's succeeding at that right now, right? AEW's having a rough spot right now. You know what I mean? It's hard to have weekly episodic television, right? You know what I mean? Can you imagine, like, imagine a TV series, right? Like, I'll just name one, like the Walking Dead. Can you imagine them having new episodes every single week? They'll be over 500 episodes by now if they were still going on the Walking Dead, right? So it's super hard to do episodic weekly television, right? But you want to know how to make it easier, right? Have a long game. Have a thought-out process. AEW in 2019, 2020, 2021, for the most part, they had long-term booking storylines. Things were plotted out for months in advance. You can see the end horizon. We're in April right now. If they start a storyline in April in 2020, how that storyline is going to end in August or September or wherever the case may be. So AEW, they have a lot of issues right now, right? Punk spoke on that. He spoke on Tony Khan. He wants to have matches. He's putting match quality over story, and even Punk said, that's fine, but that's what I mean. That's not gonna do well for your business, right? If you're trying to perform just 5-star matches on, Dynamite and only 1,000 people are seeing it, is that really worth something, right? You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It is what it is at the end of the day. AEW, over the last couple weeks, it has been better. I will say that has been better, but even what's going on TV, a lot of people are gonna get turned off by it just because like what happened tonight, which I understand. I didn't watch AEW tonight because I had a lot of shit going on today, and I just didn't have time. I saw the beginning, didn't like the promo that Adam Copeland went up there and did just because it was a response to CM Punk, and I didn't watch the fucking Jay White lost to fucking Billy Gunn tonight. I love Billy Gunn, but goddamn, Jay White should be in WWE right now. He should be faced off against AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Like, yeah, I mean that, like, gosh, man,
Oh
like,
yeah.
so
I second that.
yeah, so it's like, things like that, and
Right.
just things like that, just kind of, I won't say just aggravate me, but it aggravates a lot of people too as well. You know what I mean? There's some things that they are doing good on the show but at the end of the day, it's like the inconsistencies of your talent, right? Like I just mentioned Jay White. White now, you got Okada, you got Will Ospreay and Mercedes, and you got all these guys that came in. Now you're second fiddle. You already had your big program with MJF, which was good. It was a good program. Short. It was a short program, but it was a good program. Had a good match against them. And now you're just having, handling the trios titles and feuding against the Acclaim, and like, is that really something that Jay White wanted to do? I'm pretty sure he's having fun with the Gun Boys, right? with the Gun Boys or the Ass Club or whatever the fuck, Boy Club Go Bang Bang Gang. I'm pretty sure he's having fun with them, but he did that in New Japan at a higher level. He had the actual Bullet Club, and he was going after the IWGP Championship. You know what I mean? He was feuding against Okada. He was feuding against Naito. He was feuding against all these great guys. And now he's relegated to just that. So back to the point at hand with CM Punk. The interview was great. He didn't really say anything that was groundbreaking or oh my gosh, like, there was a lot of people out there thinking that this interview was just going to be like some groundbreaking shit. I'm like, what? Unless Punk goes out there and says like, hey, yeah, I was there with Chris Benoit when he murdered his family, or something wild like that. Like, we weren't really getting anything groundbreaking. He just confirmed on what we knew already for the most part. I think I was more shocked that Punk didn't have a fucking no compete clause. I was more that was one of the things I really took from the interview. Like, you didn't have a fucking no compete clause? Like, are you kidding me?
And also him saying that nobody contacted him when he was gone for, was it 6 months?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one thing is, well, I mean, I seriously doubt that nobody contacted him at all. Now I do believe him about the surgery thing. Like, hey, he had to pay for his own surgery. Like, fucking AEW just like fucking, did fucking budget cuts, and the insane work rate style that they have, and the insane injuries that they have. Yeah, they can't afford those fucking surgeries for everyone. So,
I mean, for your top star, at least.
I know, I get it. No, I 100% get it. I'm not saying that's not saying, it's wrong. I'm just telling you what I think AEW is doing. You know what I mean? Kenny Omega should be getting, taken care of by Tony Khan. CM Punk should be getting taken care of by Tony Khan. Adam Page should be getting taken care of by Tony Khan. Maybe they do, because, obviously they're elite. But just like guys like that should be taken care of regardless, right? But then it's gonna be like, oh well, I'm Isaiah Cassidy, or who broke his leg? It wasn't Isaiah Cassidy. It was Dante Martin. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, I'm Dante Martin. I broke my leg, at last year's Super Honor card, right? Did he have to pay for his surgery? Pretty sure he had to, right? You know what I mean? Like, imagine if they did that And like someone like Dante Martin, who obviously doesn't have any say, right? You know what I mean? As far as like, he's not a top guy. He's not even a middle guy, right? He's a part of a lower tier core tag team. But imagine that happening. That will even fuck up the morale even more. Who knows? That could be happening. We don't know. But just at the end of the day, though, like, you know, the whole CM Punk situation, the interview, like I say, he didn't say anything that was like groundbreaking or like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be an interview that we're gonna be talking about, you know, probably for the rest of the year and into 2025, and you know, there's gonna be some things about it, you know, and some things that do come true. But and CM Punk is a prophet, you know what I mean? You know, the pipe bomb promo in 2011, a lot of those things came true, right? Or a lot of those things still hold weight. We'll see what happens with AEW, right? You know what I mean? But you know,
well, him saying that it's only going to get worse if, you know, his doofus son-in-law runs the company, which is actually, it's gotten better with the doofus son-in-law.
I think of course that, but okay, one thing I like, you know, 1,000 things that he said in that promo, like, you know, but that was like the Vince McMahon administration too, so yeah. You know, but I think Punk predicted like, hey Vince, you know, you listen to the pipe bomb interviews, all like, you're gonna go away because you raped someone, you shot on someone's head, you know what I mean? So, exactly. But yeah, I have nothing else to say about this. I mean, I'm pretty sure, you know, and I'm pretty sure people are gonna be talking about this for months to come about this interview or whatnot. This again, great interview, loved it. It didn't do anything groundbreaking, right? I wasn't like overly wowed about it. I was invested. Great interview, but again, just the way that people made it out on Twitter is like, oh, the guy said this. I'm like, guys, like, you guys are overrating the fuck out of this. Like, get off your fucking hands and knees and stop sucking the dick. like, calm down. Great interview though, fantastic interview, and another thing too, on top of all this, right? So we saw how AEW respond. Obviously WWE is just going to go about their business, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to see how AEW really adjusts between now and let's say between now and all out or all in rather. Well, it's going to be back-to-back weekends. So those 2 weeks. Let's see how they build up to their shows. Let's see what they're going to do. Let's see if they can, you know, really get back on track because they have the roster for it. They have the roster for it. You have the talent for it. They have the in-ring for it. Are they going to have the story? Are they going to have the continuity? And as of right now, outside maybe a couple things, I don't really see it as of right now. Tag team division is in flux right now because they're having the tournament, right? But obviously it looks like it's going to go to the Young Bucks. Look, I love Samoa Joe. I love Swerve. But the main event picture is weak in comparison to, you know, a couple years ago. You know what I mean? In comparison to last year around this time, right? You know, there's no CM Punk, there's no MJF, there's no Kenny Omega. Those are huge blows, right? There's no Bryan Danielson. Those are huge blows. So, you know, again, love Swerve. Would love to see him as champion. I believe he probably will win the championship. Love Samoa Joe. He deserves his title reign after, you know, him not getting the proper respect in WWE under the Vince administration, right?
He did. I kind of disagree with you. I think he did. It's just injuries.
What do you mean?
He was in like what back-to-back main events in what 2017?
Oh my God! 2 back-to-back main events.
3.
Samoa Joe. He should have had a small run with the title. Period.
Let's see. He main evented against Roman. He main evented against Brock, and then he main evented SummerSlam.
Beat AJ. After all those months, he didn't beat AJ.
I mean, he was still given the respect to be in a main event match.
In my opinion, he didn't get the respect that he desered. As far as he could have been a champion.
I'm sorry. I think Samoa Joe should have won the WWE title.
No, I agree. I think Samoa Joe should have had a run with the title. But my thing is, and I'm not saying Justin's saying this or Ruben saying this. I'm saying like other people that do the whole, he was mistreated. I'm like, he wasn't mistreated. He was put in big spots.
He was, no, I will say that he was mistreated as far as him not living up to the expectations that he should have been. Period.
I don't know. Again, just with Joe's career, it's always what could have been.
So are you saying that Samoa Joe wasn't championship material in WWE?
No, he was championship material to me because I love Joe. I've always loved Joe. You know, a Vince McMahon era, maybe not, but I thought he was pushed a lot better than I thought he would be. I'll say that. He was pushed a lot better than I thought he would be.
Yeah, I mean, you take Samoa Joe, who was champion ROH, killer, champion in TNA, killer, right? Undefeated too, by the way, for a while in TNA. NXT made him a killer, right? You know, him and Shinsuke Nakamura, great. Brought him in, kind of like the apprentice-ish of Triple H. And after that, it was just mid-card. Got to the main event picture, got to taste it, right? But he lost. Great promos with Roman and Brock Lesnar. Lost. That was a big misutilization of him. What he could have been. I'm not saying he had to been champion for like a year or 6 months, or you just give him a time reign for a month and a half, 2 months. They were known for short time reigns back then anyway, right? I still probably would have been pissed off about it, but at least he would have had that title. At least he would have had that. It was like on his resume, hey, former WWE champion. I thought he deserved that. You know what I mean? Being a veteran, of 20 plus years. I thought he deserved that, but he never got that respect from Vince and company. So, it is what it is.
Anyways, just moving on. So you're talking about the main event scene in AEW. Yeah, the main event scene in AEW is a little weak, despite how we feel about Joe. I like Joe and I like Swerve. And also, the locker room's kind of in a little disarray because, I know it's kind of old hat, but it's just like, everything that's been exposed about, the younger wrestlers not seeking advice, from guys, in the producer spot and the agent spot, like a Danielson, like a Tully when he worked there. Tully talked about how nobody approached him for advice. Arn Anderson, same things. And it's just like, and I hate to use this word. Fuck it, I'm going to use it. It's just the entitlement of a lot of these younger wrestlers. That thing.
Do you think that, sorry to interrupt, but do you think that, like, once these wrestlers, let's say 5 years from now, right? 5 to 7 years from now, right? Do you think that some of these wrestlers will change their ways or keep going their ways that they are right now?
I hope so. I hope they change their ways because, like, it's like, Justin, imagine being Victor Wembanyama on the Spurs, and you're at practice and you see David Robinson, you see Tim Duncan, you see Manu Ginobili, you see Tony Parker, and you don't even bother to go up to them and ask them for advice.
Well, that's different. That's the NBA. Just respectively speaking,
right.
Kids grow up watching the NBA. They know about the greats, right? They play NBA 2K24 and they know about the greats and like they appreciate them. The NBA has, like, out of all major professional wrestling, all major professional sports, the NBA treats their legends the best. Period. Like, they're always being on camera, even in commercials, even in, at the All-Star games, things of that nature. They name trophies after them, things of that nature. The NFL, better. Baseball, I can't even tell you in the MLB, like, the last time I seen, like, Mark McGwire or fucking, Sammy Sosa. Well, they do steroids, but still, like, you know what I mean? Like, they fucking put Pete Rose on fucking, as an analyst on TV. So my point is that when it comes to wrestling, right, there's a lot of these kids that come up that only know about, like, stuff from like 15 years ago, and that's mostly like WWE stuff.
All right, I'm sorry. I don't mean to talk over you, but it's just like what Adam Page said, where Adam Page says that legends offer me advice, but I don't listen to them. It's just like, come on, like that's to me that's just that entitlement of somebody where it's just like you're around someone like Arn Anderson who was with the Horsemen and drew money. You're around.
But he said it. But he said in a sense. So I hear what you're saying. But he said in a sense like, hey, I'm trying to learn my own. I get it. He should learn from these guys. He said it like, hey, I want to learn from my own mistakes. Like that's why I don't take advice. It's a dumb reason, right? I disagree with it. Yeah. I disagree with it. But if he has something that he's like, okay, well, I'm not good at taking advice, you know what I mean, from other people. Okay, let him fucking do it, right? Let him fucking do it, because in 5 to 7 years from now, he's gonna wish that he was able to take that advice from Arn Anderson or Tully Blanchard or Diamond Dallas Page or whoever was within AEW at that time. So, you know, I mean, it's just a different breed. There's wrestlers coming up who you got to tell two wrestlers. You got wrestlers who are coming up who are I don't want to say disrespecting, but they think they know what they're doing just because they've seen indie wrestling, and they think they know how to work a story, and they think they know how to to get over the right way. You know what I mean? When they really don't know, right? And there's the other wrestlers who are students of the game per se, who appreciate the old school, who go back and watch some of the older matches and try to learn and try to learn different ways to sell and different ways to emote and different ways to kind of promo. So those are two different, and I see it here in San Antonio. I see wrestler A and wrestler B all the fucking time. All the time. I see wrestler A, sometimes, I'm not getting any names, come into my shop, and they've never seen like anything from like pre-1999, and I'm like, how are you supposed to get better at your craft if you don't try to at least learn? I don't expect you to like to know that WrestleMania 2 was in 3 different locations. No, but at least try to understand why some of these names and some of these wrestlers are known as some of the best of all time. Look at a Roddy Piper. Look at a Macho Man Randy Savage. Look at a Ric Flair. You know what I mean? Look at just name Mr. Perfect. You know what I mean? Name anybody. Look at a Diamond Dallas Page. Look at a Goldberg, right? Look, even at whoever you want to, right? Whether the wrestler was good, not good, good in the ring, not good in the ring. Look at all of it so that way you can learn. Oh man, Goldberg really botched that there. Okay, I don't want to be doing that shit in the fucking ring. Oh man, I really like how Juventud Guerrera, is bouncing off the ropes and whatever the case may be. So, you got a lot of wrestlers, which I think in AEW right now, who don't want to learn, not necessarily how to wrestle per se, but in order to enhance themselves in the ring. Guys like Jack Perry, guys like, Heyman, Adam Page, and whoever you want to name. So,
I'm just not a fan of that entitlement. It's just how I feel. I mean, I look at WWE, and again, it's a tale of two cities. WWE is a more professionally run wrestling company. You see videos of, Punk at NXT, helping out, Trick Williams and I think what was it, Mello and Brian Pillman, and they're just there to take advice. So it's just like, I don't know, I can't imagine being in the same company with guys that actually drew money and not wanting to say, hey, what do you think about my match? Do you think I should do A, B, C, and D? So I don't know.
Do you think that there's anyone in like NXT that has that entitlement?
Are you talking about like as a wrestler?
Just anyone in general. Doesn't have to be on TV. I'm just saying that. Do you think there's anyone that's in the Performance Center, where if we know them or not, do you think that there's a possibility of someone there that feels entitled?
I'm pretty sure everyone feels entitled, but it's just, I'll be honest.
Well, I'm not saying everyone. I'm saying that. Do you think there's a possibility of at least maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 4?
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's
probably a small handful that feel entitled and they don't need to learn anything, but
right,
that culture is less of a thing in that environment because you have a whole bunch of, legends and greats. Like, hell, you have, Shawn Michaels there.
He's like one of the biggest dicks in the 90s, yeah.
Well, and that brings me to my second question. Do you think that there are people in AEW that is willing to learn?
Small handful.
Yeah, like a small
handful.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Honest. Yeah, it's a small handful, to be honest, because it's just that environment, that indie-rific environment that, CM Punk is talking about, that they think that, oh, I do this. I go and bleed every other week. I go and have to do hardcore matches and drop people on their heads. And that's the way that I get over, when no, it's telling the story is about in-ring psychology. It's about working on your character, working on your promos, learn about timing. A lot of these guys and girls in there, they don't know about that. They don't care to know about that because all they know is the indie style. They know what, their bread and butter is. Their bread and butter is doing the indie stuff. Right. They don't understand that, hey, you're on live TV. You have to work a different way. You have to, mind the hard cam. You got to mind the timing because you're on a TV show. And there's some in there that do care, that do want to get better, that do want to improve, they look for advice. But when you're in an environment where you're not getting any airtime, you're not getting featured as much as you want to because the roster is stacked, you may not have that motivation or drive to care because you're not being utilized. It's like, again, what CM Punk said about the guaranteed money. While it's good because that means that people are getting paid, but also breeds laziness. Like, I can just sit at home for weeks on end and only show up once a month, twice a month to a show, and I don't gotta work on my craft. I don't gotta get better. I don't need to improve. So I think in AEW that environment fosters a lot of that. And tell to wrestlers, you have ones that want to improve, but don't have that motivation or drive because they're not being utilized. And then the other aspect is, well, I know everything. I know I just got to do flips and drop people on their head and all that. And that will get me over because I have no personality. So I think that in AEW it's the opposites, like night and day. With people want to improve, people want to get better, it's less of that because everyone's just content. And, when you're content, it breeds laziness.
So, I want to ask a question, and we can probably move on from here because I know we've been on this for a while. But
yeah.
So I was gonna name one random wrestler from AEW, right?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't really seen him on TV much, right? I haven't really heard anything bad about him, right? I'm just throwing a name out there. Kip Sabian, random name, random guy. Do you think he's a guy that will want to learn and try to get better? Do you think he is a guy that'll take advice? I can't really say so. Because
I think so. It's just that we don't see him much on TV, and again, there's just too many people on the roster.
Right. And so my point is that although I agree about, like, Heyman Page and like the Young Bucks, things of that nature, I can't really peg every single AEW talent into that one hole of saying that they don't want to get better because who knows? Maybe Kip Sabian does want to get better. He's just probably not getting that opportunity, or or who knows? We don't know that Kip Sabian is working backstage with guys like Jerry Lynn and guys like that back there. You know what I mean? Or Jake the Snake Roberts. We don't know. We don't know because we're not back there. We don't know, right? We're not part. Yeah, we can only speculate, right? Just like in WWE and in the Performance Center, I'm pretty sure there is a handful of people, not saying people who are on NXT or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure there's a handful of people that may have been signed with a NIL contract. I guarantee you there's people that sign up with an NIL contract that have a bad attitude.
Right. Well, so let me kind of interject with a story I heard a while ago. So Tiffany Stratton, she trained under Greg Gagne at Minnesota and Mr. Kennedy at their wrestling school, and Greg talked about how when she came in, she had the wrong attitude. Like you said, she felt entitled. She felt like, I can only be here for a short amount of time. I'm just going to learn whatever you can give me. And, Mr. Kennedy, Ken Anderson, whatever you want to call him, took her aside and told her something. And he doesn't know what he told her to this day, but whatever he said, it fixed her attitude. So, yes.
You just said, Kennedy! Kennedy! Just yelled at her.
He just said, fix your fucking attitude, Kennedy. So, yeah, just, again, I don't doubt that there's people in WWE, especially people in this NIL program, that are coming in to say, hey, I saw wrestling on TV once, and I thought it was neat. I want to be on television, yada, yada, yada. Someone like Obafemi, who was a football player. I'm pretty sure he watched wrestling as a kid and thought it was cool and wants to be on television. And look at him now. The guy is going to be a star in the next few years. I mean, Christ, he's already a star. Someone like Tiffany Stratton, who had no training. Not Caleb Braxton. Kalani Jordan. Just these people, they Triple H, whoever saw something in them, and now they're becoming these massive. I don't say massive stars yet, but they're becoming future stars. So, yes, there probably is some entitlement with some of the younger wrestlers at the Performance Center, but I'll say this and then we'll move on because we got a lot of shit to do. You hear about it more in AEW, and I'm pretty sure it's happening in WWE, but you hear less about it in WWE. And there's probably a reason for that. So, but yeah, it's moving past it. So, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Raw. Raw was in Brooklyn. It was in Mr. Ruben's neck of the woods in New York. I believe it was the highest gate that they've had in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's what they said, yeah.
That's what they said, yep.
The first hour was an hour, 53 minutes, free. The show started out with the Bloodline. Well, it started out with The Rock coming out, wearing his cowskin vest, a la, was it 1999, 2001? What was that?
It was 2001, I believe. Either 2000 or 2001, I believe.
So he just
2000, right?
Yeah, or 99, or 99.
Dusted that shit off and decided to bring it back. And then came out and addressed the crowd, telling, Cody the week prior, I'm going to make you bleed. Made him bleed, talks about Mama Rose, yada, yada, yada. Brings up the Cody crybabies, and then shows two videos of two children crying after seeing Cody get beat up.
Which was great.
That was great. One girl in particular thought Cody died. That the Rock killed Cody. For a second, I was thinking the Rock was going to say "fuck them kids," essentially, but he was just like, your parents need to teach you a lesson that if you talk shit, you're going to get the shit beat out of you. And eventually he says, "I didn't come alone. I came here with a surprise." Brings out Roman and the rest of the bloodline, and then Roman, talks his shit, says, "Acknowledge me," yada yada yada. Seth comes out to the crowd and just says, these people in Brooklyn would pretty much like to see a big ass main event. So how's about me versus The Rock? Or if, Dwayne, you don't have the balls, how's about me versus Roman? And The Rock, who for some reason talks like an old Southern grandpa, tells him, "Listen, boy, you're not going to fight me. You're not going to fight my cousin, that tribal chief Roman Reigns. But you are going to fight Solo." It's like, which again, I like Solo, but yeah, again, I love Solo, but it's like Solo hasn't won a match since fucking November. So it's like for Solo to to act tough or seem like a big deal, it's like, Solo, come on, you haven't won a match since November, but I don't know, whatever. So they went on to main event the rest of the. I can't talk. I'm tongue tied. They went on to main event the show. It was Bloodline Rules. which we kind of expected what was going to happen. There was going to be big schmoz. Jimmy came out, and then Jay came out to take out Jimmy. And then as they're going to the back, you see Jay get thrown out like Jazz. And I guess that makes The Rock Uncle Phil, which, I don't know, that's just funny as shit. And then, The Rock comes out to confront Seth. Seth kind of smirks, and then you see Cody come out with a bandage on his head to take out The Rock, to beat his ass. And it looks like Cody's about to do the Rock Bottom to The Rock on the table. Roman comes out to make the save, and then Roman and Rock proceed to dominate and beat the shit out of Seth and Cody. And they just whip him. They whip him like a dog, as The Rock says. Yeah, they just whip the ever-living piss out of him. With Cody's belt. Or I guess Rock bought Cody's weight belt or whatever. But, yeah, the show ended with the Bloodline standing tall. Which, I don't know, I kind of had my feelings about it. I'm like, well, Cody couldn't have at least looked more strong at the end of the show heading into Mania. But, I don't know, we kind of get where Saturday and Sunday are going, especially Saturday. But, what did you guys think about everything that happened on Raw? Specifically the Bloodline stuff, Cody, Seth, all that jazz. Whoever wants to start.
It was very formulaic, not in a bad way, but it's it advanced the story, right? Wasn't gonna be as good what happened in Chicago, obviously, right? We still got Friday, right? So I believe that Cody and Seth will get the upper hand on Friday. Hopefully no injuries happen before the Hall of Fame, because that'll be very awkward. Someone gets injured, like, let's say, like Roman, and he has to induct Paul or something like that. So, knock on wood, hopefully nothing like that happens. But, yeah, very formulaic, but, it advanced it pretty well. And I think Friday we should have a very hot ending, but it was good. Good stuff.
Rube.
Yeah, the beatdown was fantastic. Not as good as last Monday night when it was in Chicago. Like that Raw was the best. But as far as this Raw is concerned, it was fine. Not as good as last week. The beatdown was pretty dope. They just got whooped, like the holy hell beat out of them. Cody and Seth. And I did enjoy Ivar versus Ricochet. Like that match was pretty good. That match I enjoyed. Just the bit of Awesome Truth and Michael Cole and Pat, like that little banter they had in the commentary, that was pretty good. But yeah, it was pretty not as good as last week. I enjoyed it, glued to my seat, but it wasn't as good as last week's overall.
Oh yeah, I agree. I enjoyed the show. It was a nice way to. It was a nice go home show for Mania. We haven't had a good go home show for Mania in a while. And it sets up Mania greatly. Like I don't know who I told this to, but I think this build up for Mania, even like the undercard matches, I think have been probably the best build up I've seen in a while. Because aside from the meat and potatoes, like Roman and the Bloodline and Cody and Seth and yada yada yada, every other match has had an interesting build up. LA Knight and AJ have had an interesting build up. Bailey and go ahead.
No, I was gonna say real quick. I think it's more effort building up these matches than it has been the past few years. Like last year, like Rhea and Charlotte, like there was no build whatsoever for that match. It ended up being one of the best matches of the year, but it was no storyline build for that one. So yeah.
Exactly. Rhea and Becky. Even though it's been kind of ho hum, it's still had at least some interesting build up. Bailey and Io has had good build up. Every other match. Jay and Jimmy, I think, was kind of slapped together. Even though we kind of figured that that's where they were going to go, but
I mean, it's been built over like a year though. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like the whole bloodline and stuff. Like, there's only so much you can do with that.
Right. But overall, I mean, this looks like it's going to be a really solid WrestleMania. Formulaic, like you said, but formulaic in a good way, because we think we know what's going to happen. We hope what's going to happen is what we think will happen. But overall, I mean, we're in for a very entertaining WrestleMania. They already set up night 1. They already set up night 2. So we'll see about it. And the rest of Raw was good. Ricochet. They're really just taking the constraints off of Ricochet and just letting him do his own thing and just being Ricochet, and it's working. The crowd's loving it. Yeah. The rest of the show was pretty enjoyable. I did not watch NXT last night, but from the way Justin told me, it was very. Again, it was just a setup this weekend, basically. And then I guess pretty much that's it. Before we get into this weekend's activities, did either of you watch the Bray Wyatt documentary?
No, I didn't
I
get to.
I didn't have time.
Didn't get to see it, but I heard a lot of positive things about it.
Right. It for anyone that doesn't know, so the Bray Wyatt was a Becoming Immortal documentary that dropped on Peacock. I believe I heard it was going to drop after Raw, but I guess maybe I heard wrong, or maybe they just changed their mind. It dropped literally the day of, even before Raw. So, documentary about Bray Wyatt, and it was really good. Like, you saw a lot of footage from FCW. You saw a lot of footage, backstage at NXT about how the Bray Wyatt character was brought together. Bray, Wyndham. They turned him into Husky Harris, and he hated that because it obviously poked fun at his look, at his weight. And so Triple H, who was apparently a big supporter and saw something in him that nobody else did, say, hey, we're going to send you back to FCW because you got something. We want to kind of repackage you. And, Wyndham was through the moon about it. Like, he wanted to go back to FCW. So, he's in a car ride with his brother Bo. And he's like showing him ideas and talking about, was it Cape Fear with Robert De Niro? And there's another movie that he talked about that I'm blanking on. But yeah, Bray was a big movie person, and a lot of what you see is a lot of what you see in like horror movies, and he was a big horror movie guy. Talk about the relationship between Bo and Bray, and they were very close. Bo looked at Bray as his hero. Like, he said, I wanted to be like Bray. I wanted to be like Wyndham. Like, he was my idol. And, 10 minutes in, I'm already getting emotional. Good. There's a story where Bo talks about how he was doing wrestling at school, and there was a big tournament coming up. And Bray had told him, I'm not going to be able to show up for the other matches because I know you're going to make it. Bo ended up getting hurt, and he's driving home, and he's like really emotional. He's like, feels like he let his big brother down. And Bray's there, waiting at his truck, and he gives Bo a big hug and tells him none of that shit matters. And I'm just like, oh, like, Jesus Christ. And just, yeah, the rest of the story is great. I mean, that was heavy because it's just like, it reminded me of me and my brother. I mean, the rest of the story is heavy. Like, they just, again, I know, like, the whole narrative of, like, after someone dies, they become, beloved, and they become the nicest person in the world. In someone like Bray's case, he truly was loved by everybody. Everybody seemed to have a good Bray story. He seemed to get along with everybody, from the wrestlers to the guys that are just jobbing, to performance center people, to people working in the ring crew. Like, he seemed to have a good rapport with everybody, even Triple H. Like, Triple H had said that, I love Bray. I love Bray so much, I'll run through a wall for him. Like, that's how loyal he was to Bray. Like, can you imagine Triple H from 2002 being a supporter of Bray Wyatt? Like, you can't. Like, I mean, again, we don't know how Triple H thought back then, but it's just like, you wouldn't have thought Triple H being a supporter for Bray Wyatt, and he was. Like, he loved him. He adored him. And Mish is saying, Hogan had a cameo, which when you bring Hogan on for a documentary, he works better in small doses. If he's talking about the business, fine. Keep Hogan just talking about how the business works and making money. That's all you need Hogan for. But and Hogan also talked about, I remember Bray when he was a kid because he obviously worked with his dad, and just Undertaker was the narrator, which in the beginning I was kind of having problems with him. Not to say he was bad, but it was just like, I don't know how I feel about Undertaker as a narrator. But then after a while, I'm like, okay, I'm fine with it. I'm getting used to it. And obviously, when it got to Bray passing away, we all know the story that he got COVID last year, actually, which is crazy to think about. This all this shit happened last year, and it's funny because I remember Kevin Castle mentioning that Bray had heart problems even when he was a kid, because his mom, when she heard that he got COVID, her first thought was his heart, and they didn't really divulge anything after that. So he was supposed to be wearing like this like vest for his heart. And the day he died, he called his mom and said, "I think I might need to get a pacemaker." And just we all know the story. Like he had his ex-wife on, the mother to his two kids, which I thought was good because we all remember that story about apparently JoJo was a home wrecker, which that ended up not being the case. Everyone seemed to get along. Even after Bray passed away, like JoJo called her. Like she didn't just like allow her to just read about it on the internet. Like no, she called her like straight up and said, "This is what happened." And Bray was gonna pick his kids up from school, and he set his alarm for 3:00, and he went to sleep and didn't wake up. So, and then they showed a video of Triple H, having to announce it to the rest of the wrestlers surrounding the ring, and it's just again very emotional. Like Sami Zayn, says to this day, it's just I'm in denial because I'm just waiting for him to call me. He doesn't know how to handle it. I don't know how to handle death. So again, it's a very good documentary. It ends on a high note. It shows his kids from his first marriage and his second marriage playing together. And, if that doesn't bring a smile to your face, I don't know what will. But very good documentary, worth the watch. If you haven't already, if you like wrestling, if you love Bray Wyatt, I would say give it a watch. And the show ends with like a post-credit scene. But I won't say what it is if you haven't seen it yet. Or if you have seen it, whatever. But it's a great watch.
It was spoiled online, unfortunately.
I mean, it's all over Twitter. I'm
just saying for the people who haven't seen it. But I would say.
Should I just spoil it for them? Let's rip the Band-Aid off.
God damn it, Justin. Okay, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Nah, just an image of Uncle Howdy. I guess they're teasing of a possible return of Bo Dallas, so as Uncle Howdy. So,
which he's been signed since 2022, and they haven't put him out yet because they don't want to rush it, and it's too fresh. And Mike Rotunda had said that they haven't put Bray in the Hall of Fame this year because it's still fresh and.
It's too soon.
And that's exactly the reason why I said it. Said it. I'm like, is he deserving of the Hall of Fame? Of course, but there's no need to do it immediately because it's like let the family grieve a little bit, man. It hasn't even been a year. It's like, so it's gonna happen. Just be patient, guys. It's gonna happen. You just can't just. Oh, someone died. Oh, let's put him in the Hall of Fame. I think that would be more disingenuous to do it like that versus just letting it happen naturally.
I agree.
Right, and hold on, I just saw someone put something in the chat. And we'll move on. I don't want to, be a downer, but Ralph saying Bray was never the same since Brody passed away. That was another thing they touched base on, that him and Brody were like brothers. They met in FCW and they were like thick as thieves, and when he passed away, he wasn't the same. Just not to say that led to anything that happened with him, because it was obviously medical reasons, but he was he wasn't the same. He losing someone who's like a brother to you is just losing anyone that means that much to you, where you will do anything for them, and they're your family essentially, or even if they are your family, it's not something you ever get over. Like the best you can do is try to move on with it and make peace, but you never truly get over that. And I'm positive from the way it sounded, he never really truly got over it or moved on from it. But that was a Bray Wyatt documentary. Watch it. I haven't watched the Roman Reigns one yet, and I need to watch that yet. I need to watch that. I'll try to watch it before Mania. But this weekend. Shall we start with Stand and Deliver first?
Sure.
Okay. NXT Stand and Deliver. This weekend at Saturday at 12 p.m. I don't know if that's Central Time or Eastern Time. I think it's Eastern Time, but early.
Eastern Time.
Okay, so it'll be 11 a.m. for us. It's in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the Wells Fargo Center. And let's see the matches. So we have a pre-show match, which is weird. Shawn Spears versus Joe Gacy in a singles match.
I don't think Joe Gacy's winning that. Yeah.
I got Shawn Spears.
Yeah.
Spears.
Yeah, Spears. I don't think Gacy's winning that.
Yeah, they're giving it to Spears. He just came back, so they want to make him, I guess, feel special. Gacy, I like the new gimmick of him just being a nut. But yeah, he ain't winning. So it's going to be Spears. All right. NXT Championship. Ilya Dragunov versus Tony D'Angelo.
Ilya.
This is an odd match. And I don't know, not because I don't like Tony D. I like Tony D. I've turned the corner on him. I don't know, just like when you think of an NXT Championship match at Stand and Deliver, I don't know if I would think of Tony D being in it. That's just not to say he's undeserving. It's just I don't know. This is just...
Who would you pick if it wasn't Tony D? The current state of NXT.
That's the thing. I don't know. Like I really don't know. Maybe this is just like I don't want to say consolation prize. Maybe it's just like them saying you've done a good job. Here you go. So I don't know. That's just me. But I mean, this shouldn't be a bad match. I mean, Ilya never has a bad match. I mean, it's like Justin said. You could sell me a fucking ketchup flavored popsicle. Like that's how convincing Ilya is. So I'm gonna go with Ilya. Ruben, who'd you pick?
Ilya. Yeah, pick Ilya.
All right. Triple threat for the NXT North American Championship: Elba Femi, Dijak, and Briggs. Is Josh Briggs still going to be around on Saturday? What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean?
You haven't heard the news?
No.
Did you hear the Ronda Rousey news on Drew Gulak? That's actually one of the articles. Okay. Well, anyway, long story short, apparently he texted, allegedly, a 12-year-old girl. So, allegedly. Now, again, this could be another Velveteen Dream situation because she didn't really show the name of who it actually was. Like, it was kind of blocked, but people are saying it's Josh Briggs, so I don't know. We'll see. What the fuck? What in the actual fuck? Like, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's Oba. Oba's going to win regardless. Oh, yeah, Oba Femi's going to win, yeah.
Maybe Dijak. Maybe. But yeah, I'll go with Dijak.
All right. Dijak, wow.
Yeah.
Love Dijak,
right.
But I don't think he's winning this one, so I'm going to go with Oba. I would have preferred Oba and Dijak. but they made it a triple threat for some reason. NXT Women's Championship, Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez.
I got Roxy.
Yeah,
Roxy.
I think Roxy's winning it. I'm digging her heel run. I like Lyra. I'm sorry. I like Lyra, but I don't know. I think Roxanne is just more interesting than Lyra. Just personal opinion, but we'll go with Roxy. All right, tag team match for the NXT Championships. Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker, the Wolf Dogs, versus Axiom and Nathan Frazier.
I got Nathan Frazier and Axiom.
All right, samesies. Braun's dropping these and going to the main roster.
Yeah. Like I know after Mania he's going to debut like officially. So yeah, that's they're dropping those belts.
All right. 6-women tag match. Thea Hale, Fallon Henley, and Kalani Jordan versus JC Jane, Kiana James, and Izzy Dame with Jasmine Nix.
Got the heels.
I got the heels too. I love me some JC Jane, so I'm gonna go for her.
Well, I mean, I'm not going based off who I actually like, but
I am because
I'm going off of who I think's gonna happen.
I know. I'm Team JC Jane all the way. I don't care what she does. I don't care if she spits in my face. I'm going for her.
Oh Jesus! Have some shame, man.
I have no shame. But I'm going for the heels.
Heels.
Alrighty then. Main event. Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams in a singles match.
Trick Williams.
Yeah, it's gotta be Trick.
Trick Williams. Be Trick. So, question: do you think Hayes is going to stick around for a little bit before SummerSlam or debut after this?
He's main roster.
Not Trick. Not Trick. I'm sorry, Mello.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but no, he's main roster. Like, what does he need to do down there?
I mean, I would just assume they would do like their usual shtick of, oh, we have to have 2 more matches and have a blow-off match and a blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. I'm just...
If he wins, sure. If he ends up winning, sure. That's probably what's going to happen. But no, like, him, Braun, they've been well overdue. Like, let's, especially since if Cody's winning, we need fresh faces on these shows. Like,
yeah, true.
Like, you need a Braun Breaker, you need a Mello, you need fresh faces, and people are expecting I mean, even though they already debuted, but they're expecting like official, like, statement making, situations on the night after WrestleMania and the WrestleMania SmackDown after WrestleMania. So,
right. I mean, yeah, I get you. All right. Oh, Ruben, who'd you choose?
Oh, I said Trick.
Okay, Trick. Definitely Trick. Trick is the future.
Yeah.
And he's well on his way to become champion sooner rather than later, more than likely. All right.
Yep.
So that was Stand or Deliver. Or Stand and Deliver. I'm sorry. But it's going to be this Saturday early in the morning. So, yeah. All right. So now we're on to the main course. WrestleMania. Yummy. WrestleMania XL, or 40 if you're, depending on who you are. It's going to be in Philly at the Lincoln Financial Field, home of the bitch-ass Eagles. April 6th through 7th, 2 nights for the past 2 years. The first WrestleMania under TKO Holdings. The first WrestleMania without Vince McMahon. So, let's see how this goes. So, night 1. Night 1, you got Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the Women's World Championship.
Rhea.
Jinx.
It'll be a good match.
Rhea's definitely winning.
It'll be a good match. I think after this, Becky's going to take some time off. Which I think her and Seth both. After Mania, I think they need to take time off. Just, they need it. They've been on TV too much. They've been kind of overexposed. They definitely do need time off. So, Rhea. Intercontinental Championship, Sami Zayn versus Gunther.
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 He will chop.
Right match of the weekend.
Yeah, no lying. Any match with Gunther is always going to be good. But yeah, he's going to chop the shit out of Sammy. This will be a good match.
Yeah, he ain't losing that belt. He's not losing. Like, if he does, I wouldn't be super surprised because there's that realm of possibility. But at the same time, it's like Gunther should go undefeated with that belt and just relinquish it, or have Chad Gable. The other scenario is having Chad Gable get it, but I think he should just go undefeated, give up the belt, and then go after the world title.
Right.
Exactly.
Like Gunther's whole thing is the only person that should beat him is him. Gunther would be like, I've done everything I can with this title. I've outgrown it. I don't know why I sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm gonna drop it and, move on to bigger and better things. So, yeah, that makes more sense. 6-pack tag team ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. The Judgment Day, DIY, Awesome Truth, New Day, A-Town Down Under, and New Catch Republic. One note before we get to the match. Michael Cole said something interesting on Monday, where he was talking about the match, and he said the way the match ends is when both titles are taken off the hook.
Yeah, I mentioned this weeks ago that they're splitting the titles. So,
Michael Cole all but kind of confirmed it.
Well, I mean, it doesn't take a genius to have Michael Cole. Like, if you pay attention to what WWE's doing, like, you knew they were gonna.
Right. I mean, we knew that, we figured that, and we wanted it, but it's just coming from the horse's mouth. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
But
I am the horse's mouth. Damn it. DIY is gonna pull one down, and Austin Theory and Grayson Waller pull down the other. No, maybe New Catch Republic. I don't know. I still think there's like a little turn that they could probably do Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. I don't know, but yeah. So DIY and New Catch Republic.
I mean, you don't think they're gonna give it to Awesome Truth? Just to let them have their moment, I guess.
I think so. I think that for the Raw side, you'll have the Awesome Truth.
Do they need the fucking tag titles though?
Yeah, but it's our truth. They want to give him his Mania moment.
I guess, for sure. Whatever.
I mean, I don't agree with it because I think the R-Truth thing has kind of died out.
Well, I mean, I still like R-Truth. I just don't think that, like, you got these young tag teams in here, or these new fresh tag teams in here. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller and New Catch Republic and DIY. Like, you figure that one of these guys is at least putting down the title. So, I mean, the crowd is starting to get into DIY more and more and more. But if it's Awesome Truth, sure, whatever. I just don't see. I mean, like, Miz is fucking 43 years old, about to be 44. And R-Truth is, 52 years old. I mean, both can still go, but it's like, is it necessary? Is this pushing the division forward? I don't think that's in the Triple H initiative.
Right.
As far as like what he has envisioned. He loves DIY, you know that. He loves Tyler Baby Dunn, you know that. Yeah, I mean, he's high on Austin Theory.
I want my Brits to win.
I think personally, I think it's gonna be DIY. I think it's probably gonna be New Catch Republic. So that's my prediction.
I think that's more realistic with the Triple H regime. But it wouldn't shock me if they gave it to Awesome Truth and the heels. What is it? A-Town Down Under. So no, that's just me. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What about you, Rube?
Yeah, I think New Catch Republic are going to get the belts for the SmackDown side, and then for the Raw side, it's a toss-up between the Awesome Truth and DIY, just because DIY is getting, they're over, they're getting over with the crowd, and, those Triple H's guys, so I really think that there's a chance, but you never know, just to give R-Truth his moment with all this, even though I think they should have pulled the trigger with them, but who knows? The match can go any way, but I think that's the good thing about this match is that there's just so much intrigue that anyone could win. So we just gotta wait and see. But that's my choice.
All right. Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso in a singles match.
Jimmy.
Jay.
So, here's what I want to happen, but I don't think it will. I want Jay to beat the ever living dog shit out of Jimmy because Jimmy's a loser. He hasn't won any matches since he became a singles wrestler. That's what I want to happen, but I doubt it will because they want to have their Mania match and okay, but I don't know. And again, I know Jay's over, but Jay and Jimmy wrestle the same. They kind of have the same moves, and it's just gonna be nothing but super kicks and oddly thrown, closed fist punches and a lot of dives. So I'm going to say Jay. All right.
Yeah, Jay.
6-woman tag match: Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi versus Damage Control: Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane.
Baby faces.
Yeah, the faces. Even though I'm still upset to this day that Asuka still hasn't won a match at Mania.
That's so fucking weird.
Yeah. Like, I'm still to this day pissed off that she
has the reverse Undertaker streak.
Yeah. Which sucks because she's very good. Still, at her age, she can still go. And it's a shame because you would have thought that she would have a Mania moment, that she'll win the match at Mania. But, since it's Jade Cargill's debut, I think that the baby faces are going to go over. Maybe in some bizarre role, the heels go over. But who knows? I do think the baby faces could win.
I mean, you got Asuka, who's never won a WrestleMania match, and you got Bianca Belair, who's undefeated. So that's definitely, it's not on the side of Asuka. I can tell you that.
Yep. It's unfortunate, but that's just reality. So can't get mad at reality.
That's all it is, and that's all it's ever gonna be.
Yep.
Yeah, the faces are gonna win. They're gonna have Jade losing her debut match because, Jade looked good last Friday. When doing the run in with Damage Control. All that training seemed to pay off. But we'll find out.
She looked exactly the same that she did in AEW. It's the same stuff. Pump kick. She used Jaded. It was good. It looked good, but it's the same thing. She didn't do anything new.
I was about to say we'll see what happens when she has an actual match.
There you go.
But she still looked good. I'm just going to say that. She looked good. But yeah, the faces are going to win. And they love Bianca. They love Bianca like she's her child. Which, I love Bianca too. Alright. Another tag match. Tag team match. Latino World Order versus... Wait, am I getting this wrong? Oh, yeah. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dom. Dirty Dom.
It depends how they... this is a cop-up answer, but it depends what happens Friday.
What do you mean?
If the LWO gets the upper hand, then it's going to be Santos and Dirty Dom winning. If Dirty Dom and Santos get the upper hand, then it's going to be the LWO winning. But as of right now, put a gun to my head. Really, at the end of the day, does Rey Mysterio need to win another WrestleMania match? I guess whatever, but I'm going to go with the babyfaces because
we'll go with the heels. I
want Santos and Dominic to win. I do, but yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to go with the heels, because, again, last Friday when, Ray said, my tag team partner is Dragon Lee, and you just see Carlito go, the fuck? So it's just I don't know, that makes 3 people that Ray has had turned on him, which is just, I guess 5 if you want to count Eddie and Batista, who all turned on Ray. I don't know, maybe Dom was right. Ray is a deadbeat dad. So he's an awful person. I'm going to go with Dom and Santos.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the heels too.
Yeah, that awful Ray. All right, main event of night 1 is the Bloodline. The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. If Rhodes and Rollins wins, all members of the Bloodline will be barred from ringside during the WWE Championship match on night 2. If Rock and Roman wins, the championship match on night 2 will be under Bloodline rules.
The heels are going over.
Yeah,
Heels.
the heel team. Yeah.
So let me kind of throw an idea your way.
Sure.
They've been, I don't know why, and I don't think this will happen, but whatever. But they've been kind of teasing, or by they I mean the internet has been thinking that Seth will turn on Cody. So let's say after the match when Cody and Seth lose, and Seth is the one that takes the pin, and after the match Cody's trying to help up Seth, and the rest of the bloodline comes in and tries to do a beatdown, but then Seth comes in with a steel chair to level the playing field. Cody has his back turned, and Seth, a la 2014, smacks Cody in the back with a chair. And, like I mentioned to Justin at the shop, and I've mentioned this before, night 1 of WrestleMania is going to be Infinity War. Night 2 is going to be Endgame. Night 1's going to end in tragedy, and you're going to see Cody looking defeated, and you're like, how is Cody going to overcome the odds? And then we'll get into night 2 in a bit. But, do you think that's a possibility, that Seth, attacking Cody after the match?
So if Seth attacks Cody, that means he's a heel, right?
Yeah.
So why am I watching a heel versus heel match on night 2 with Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
I don't think no one's turning on. At this point, I don't think nobody's turning on nobody. I don't think The Rock is going to turn on Roman. Not at WrestleMania. Maybe sometime down the road. And I don't think Cody, or also I don't think Seth is turning on Cody. It's just,
yeah.
Do you think Seth kind of gets mad at Cody? Not hits him, but is like, fuck, we lost.
Maybe so. Okay, he lost. So what?
Right, but
at this point, what does Seth Rollins like? If he loses, if they lose and he takes the pinfall, this doesn't affect Seth Rollins in either way. He still has a world title match the next night.
But I guess it affects him as his character, because he's like, my first main event of WrestleMania and I lost, and it's all your fault. Like, he can do that. Like, he can get mad at Cody because he's like, where were you when I was getting pinned? I'm not saying he attacks him. I'm just saying he would get mad at him.
He could get mad at him, sure, I guess. Whatever, but I don't think it's going to add to anything. Like, it'll look very stupid. He gets mad at him and then comes out and helps him the next night.
Well, it makes sense because, like, for him, it's like, I'm pissed off at you, but we'll deal with that later. I still hate The Rock. I still hate Roman.
I don't think that will add to anything if he just gets mad and I'm mad and.
It stacks the deck against Cody, because now for Cody it's like Christ. Now someone who I consider a friend is pissed off at me and doesn't want anything to do with me. So I'm pretty much alone on this. But anyways, Ruben, what do you think?
Like I was trying to say, anything can happen because, we're, as Captain America said, we're in the end game now. Well, no, Dr. Strange says we're in the end game now. But again, anything can happen. Seth could turn on Cody. Rock can turn on Roman. Will it happen? There's a chance, but will it happen? We don't know. I do think that the heels are going over. I do think that Seth is going to get mad and it's going to screw him up mentally when he goes into fight. McIntyre, he's not focused. Which we'll get into that a little bit, but I just don't see. It'll be cool just for the chaos aspect of things, just for the unpredictability aspect, but I don't think anyone is turning on anyone just yet. If it makes storyline sense, if it leads into whatever's going to happen on night 2 and then beyond, I could see it happening, but I don't see it happening. If it does, holy shit, I'll be shocked, but I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening.
All right.
I think the bigger question is, are we going to see blood? think that's more of a.
Well, yeah, we got to see blood because we gotta put more blood on the belt for Mama Rhodes, you know.
Especially
Right.
especially bloodline rules, dude. Just
Yep.
imagine Pat McAfee. Those blood and bloodline rules. That was a bad Pat McAfee impression. I'm sorry, but night two. Speaking of Drew McIntyre and Seth, I don't know if these matches are in order. I mean, I know the main event is the main event, but night two, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship with CM Punk on commentary.
McIntyre.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Thinking. I'm thinking. I think he said McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm leaning McIntyre. CM Punk's gonna get involved, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know like how it's gonna go. I think he may just end up costing Seth the title inadvertently. You know what I mean? Then Drew ends up winning. So I'm gonna go Drew here. Yeah. And once Drew wins, like obviously he resigned, so that should give you confirmation there. So
Do you think Damian Priest cashes in?
I hope not.
Well, because you said Punk, you think Punk might inadvertently cost Seth the title. Do you think, like, okay, this sounds too overly complicated in my head, so I don't know if I should say it out loud, but, like, Punk comes in to quote-unquote congratulate Drew and then kicks him in the balls. And then that's when Damian comes out to cash in.
So it's a possibility. I mean, especially if he doesn't have a title by that time, because we'll know by night two. So,
Right.
I
I don't know.
can see the cash in. I can see the cash in happen the Monday, the night after WrestleMania.
Okay.
I can see that happening more than I honestly I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Not at WrestleMania. Not at WrestleMania. I think maybe the night after WrestleMania, but I think they need to. I think they just need to let that whatever moment that happens with Punk and Drew and Seth, let that be. You don't want that to like get clouded over with the Damian Priest cash in.
I don't know. Is Damian Priest in kayfabe the stupidest wrestler ever?
It's retarded, man. Like I mean, if he hasn't cashed in yet for like things that have happened already, I don't expect him to cash in night two.
Yeah, it's just like
kayfabe, like kayfabe wise, because he had a ton of opportunities to cash in.
Right, like on Monday, it's like we knew he wasn't going to, but it's like in reality, I mean, it's weird saying in reality, it's wrestling, but it's like, you know, Seth is getting his ass beat. Why not Damian come out and cash in reality? But just, I don't know, this is just so weird. There better be a payoff for this, but it's not making any fucking sense with Damian. WWE Women's Championship, Io Sky versus Bayley.
Bayley.
I mean, she has to. Come on, give it to Bayley. It'll be a great match. LA Knight versus AJ Styles.
LA Knight.
I want to say LA Knight, but I have a feeling they'll give it to AJ and continue this feud. Like the whole point of AJ's thing with LA Knight is that you need to be humbled. So I think AJ is going to cheat and win, and they're going to continue. But again, I think LA Knight's going to win, but I'm just thinking booking logic, as a Punk would say. Triple threat for the WWE United States Championship: Logan Paul, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens.
Logan Paul.
Logan.
Going back to the AJ Styles, apparently he's going to have new theme music at Mania, according to him.
It's gonna be fucking shit.
Why?
Def Rebel.
Oh, okay, yeah, the artist. Yeah, we'll see.
Whoosh, man. Yeah, unless he gets something that is like unless he gets like his old TNA theme or like his old ROH theme or something like that, or he gets like a licensed song, something. I'm not, man.
So you mean some more Christian rap music?
Man, it's gonna be shite, mate.
Shite, mate. All right. Six-man Philadelphia street fight. Bobby Lashley, Angelo Dawkins, and Montez Ford with B-Fab versus the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, Akam, and Razor with Scarlett and Paul Ellering.
It better be the Final Testament.
Final Testament. Like
it better be them.
Better be them.
Yeah.
I would have
Make or
preferred.
break.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's make or break for them, so they have to win.
I would have preferred if it was just Kross and Lashley in a street fight, but whatever. But
I mean, it's kind of hard to keep the Street Profits off of WrestleMania, though.
I don't know, but I don't know. It's just me. I would have liked it if it was a singles match, but I think this will be just as fun. The Street Profits are going to do some crazy shit, especially Montez. And Kross and Lashley are going to beat the piss out of each other. So, Final Testament, they better win. All right, main event: Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Universal Championship. Stipulation to be determined by night one's main event. More than likely, the Bloodline is gonna be Bloodline rules. I mean, if anyone's not a fan of Roman Reigns' overly booked matches, this is gonna be the most overly booked match in the history of wrestling.
But not in the history of wrestling. Vince Russo has you beat, bro.
It's like, oh my god, bro, they're doing everything, bro. They're even doing Rikishi on a pole, bro.
Yeah,
For sure,
though.
I think Rikishi will show up in some form or fashion. Brandy is going to be there in some. I mean, not form or fashion. She'll be there. She'll be in front row. Cody mentioned on the Ariel Wani's podcast. His mom will be front row. Like I mentioned, this is going to be Endgame. You're going to see a lot of crazy shit happen. You're going to see some portals opening up, and you're going to see people. You're probably going to see John Cena, because John Cena got beat by Solo, even though Solo doesn't want a match. You might even see Steve Austin show up to confront The Rock. I mean, Steve Austin posted a video on, was it TikTok or Instagram, where he was like, "It's Easter, and someone left a Easter basket full of beer and hauled ass." So you might see Steve Austin show up. It's going to be overly produced as fuck, but hopefully with the right result, with Cody winning, as he should. Like, the show is should end with Cody winning, and Steve Austin sharing a Steve Weiser with Cody, and that's how WrestleMania 40 should end. But yeah, Cody's winning.
Yeah, Cody's winning. I mean, I got nothing to add. I mean, he better win. If he doesn't win, then, man, that is one of the... If Cody doesn't win, just bringing up the scenario, this is one of the biggest failures in the history of WWE, period.
Yeah, Cody not winning after all this will be just asinine. But what if, the dream scenario, what if Cody wins and maybe, I don't know, The Rock, Roman, they find a way, make it make sense to get Damian Priest's briefcase and tell him, hey, like, give us the briefcase. Either give us the briefcase and we'll work something out to where you get a title shot down the line, guaranteed, or give us the briefcase or you're fired, type of thing. And then it could be a cash in on Cody on Raw after Mania.
So who would cash in?
Not Roman. I think The Rock cashes in. Like, that's just a scenario that I thought of while we was talking. Because there's no way Damian Priest is ready for, the world title. Like, it doesn't make sense for him to, to get it off of McIntyre, especially if he's re-signing. If he's not re-signing, then they could go that route, which I like Damian Priest. I just don't think he's ready. But it could also it can also build that tension with Rock and Cody, because then remember Roman said in the documentary, if he doesn't win, the main event, and he's done. And then what can happen with The Rock and him getting the briefcase somehow, that can bring Roman back. Maybe he's not right away, but it could bring Roman back, and then they could have that civil war.
I mean, a civil war can work, once Roman loses, because Roman could go away, or he can just tell, The Rock, you told me you guaranteed Cody was going to walk away a loser, and said I walked away a loser. I thought you were supposed to be my family, and then that's what kind of starts that civil war. Also, there's a pay-per-view coming up in Scotland, the Clash of the Castle. So they already built that last Clash of the Castle around Drew. Now they're really going to build this one around Drew, because it's in fucking Scotland. So,
that's his home city, right?
Drew's going to come back the conquering hero. Being like, I told you I was going to right all the wrongs, and I came back the conquering hero. So, I don't know, just WrestleMania needs to end with Cody winning.
I'll say this here. The scenario about The Rock getting the Money in the Bank briefcase cash in, that is, I don't like that idea, just because of the fact that that'll bring us back to square one, where you have no champion on TV. Because they're going to be there every week. It's gonna be even worse because it is The Rock.
Yep.
And also he's the boss. He's already acknowledged that he's the boss. He can be like, I'm your boss, and you'll do as I say. He can just literally say, hey, have this match because I said so. He just, I don't know, just I don't want to overcomplicate things. I think Cody should win, because it's just like, what the fuck are we doing if he doesn't? And he's already a sympathetic babyface. He's Captain America, basically. We've called him Cody Christ for the longest time. He's literally become Cody Christ. He's been sacrificed on the freaking on the cross by Roman and The Rock and the rest of the bloodline. So just, I don't know, just might as well pull it off. Do it.
Pull the trigger. Yeah, I agree. Pull the trigger, but this bloodline storyline isn't over.
Oh no, no, I know.
It's not over, and they could still, put this on. And it seems like The Rock is going to stick around after Mania. So, because they also got to build up to WrestleMania 41 versus Roman Reigns. And after that is the story where we get to Roman versus Rock. Because originally it's supposed to have been this year, and then before that it's supposed to have been last year. So now, with everything that has happened, and then it's going to happen at Mania, it can lead up to somehow Rock just going mad with power. It's what we were saying about Roman. Now it's going to happen with The Rock, and it could happen. So many things, so many different scenarios that can happen. That's just the beauty of things. But Cody, there's no way he's not walking out, with the belt. He has to win. But a part of me wishes that Rock was champion, so that way, all this, because Roman has felt like an afterthought.
Right.
He's a champion. He's the one that Cody is supposed to be facing, not The Rock. So that's why I'm
this whole match has felt like an afterthought. The tag team match has been built up more than the actual main event.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, why not have go all the way, have The Rock, give Cody his moment, but then on Monday night you just have The Rock be the ultimate heel of heels, get the belt.
Well, I kind of have a scenario for that. So there's two things. You can either do two things with that. There's the pay-per-view in France, and they're gonna want a big fucking main event, so you can have Cody and The Rock in France, or you can wait till SummerSlam. The Rock and Cody can be your main event at SummerSlam. I mean, you could still do Cody and Roman as a rematch in France. I mean, either way, it's still going to be a big match.
Right.
But yeah, I think, I mean, Cody and Rock is destined to happen. I think realistically, it'll probably happen at SummerSlam. And they might just do a rematch of Cody and Roman in France. You know, it's going to be a big pay-per-view in another country like last year. So just makes sense. Makes more sense.
Roman didn't show up at Backlash last year either.
I mean, you never know. He might show up this year because he's like, I want my title back.
You never know. Never know. So, quick question. Gonna name off some names here, and I will ask you: do you think that they'll be showing up in WrestleMania in general, but mostly the Night 2 main event? Okay. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes.
Absolutely.
John Cena.
Yes.
Yep.
Triple H.
I mean, he can't do anything physical. I mean, he'll probably show up, but not to do anything.
He'll show up, but not do anything physical. He'll show up.
Ricky Starks.
I mean, he's still signed with AEW, right?
Apparently, I don't know for sure. There hasn't been any information on his contract, but apparently, I believe his contract already ended. He's already a free agent. Apparently, I'm not sure, but
I mean, it'd be interesting. Like you said when we were talking in the shop earlier, like it'd be interesting if that's how they debut him. Is he comes in and he's like, sitting with Brandy and Cody's mom.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Like him being in the crowd. With Brandy and Mama Rose.
He was there. I mean, it was on TV, but he was there with Cody. It was like when he re-debuted, when Cody re-debuted his comeback, or was it at the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, he came back with Cody at the Rumble, but it was like a photo backstage.
Yeah, well, no, it was actually backstage and
last year, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, MJF.
No. No. I mean, if it does happen, holy shit, that'll be the biggest surprise. But
I'm just throwing it out there as a possibility. I mean, I don't.
Yeah,
I wouldn't count it out. I would not count that out. I'll just say that.
MJF,
it's a possibility.
Broke his silence on social media. I don't know if you guys saw that. So MJF's ex-fiancée, Naomi Rosenblum, she's a painter. And she painted a picture of The Rock holding a bloody Cody Rhodes. She said, painting of The Rock and Cody, who saw this insane scene. Number 2 in progress on my new wrestling series. Also, sorry, Mama Rhodes. Rock retweeted, and he put, love this. What an artistic convergence of emotions. I'd like to buy this from you. My team will be in touch. I know a special mom who I'm giving this to. Hashtag Mama Rhodes. MJF responded. First, you steal my glorious idea to lash Cody. Now you try to cop art from my ex. I'm a fan, but please leave me be, Dewey. So, I mean, it'd be fucking huge if MJF showed up at Mania. I mean, because I don't listen to their podcast regularly. I listen to clips, but Conan on his Keeping It Real podcast, there was a fan that asked, do you think MJF has secretly signed with WWE? And I don't know. It's wrestling. You never know. But I think MJF has signed with AEW. I think he signed with AEW a long time ago. I mean, they did take him off the roster page, but that doesn't really mean shit. But
if so, I don't know why they didn't announce it yet. Like what? Like there's no at this point. There's no benefit of withholding that information.
I don't know. Again, that would still be fucking huge if MJF showed up at Mania to help Cody. But I'm just gonna say no because I think he's with AEW.
I think that's all the names. Brock Lesnar.
No. I mean, maybe he'll show up to help Cody because he respects Cody after their match and he still hates Roman. So I don't know. Maybe like I said, it's like Avengers Endgame, and Brock's gonna be the Hulk. He's going to come in to help, Cody, Captain America. So,
yeah.
Okay, and last one. I think this is probably maybe the most realistic one of all.
Don't say Chris Benoit.
No, I'm not gonna say Chris Benoit. I wasn't gonna say Chris Benoit.
No.
Ric Flair.
No.
No.
Wait, why Ric Flair?
Just random. That's all.
Woo! It's fucking one, like not even a spear. Like all Roman has to do is just go for a Superman punch motion, and Rick will collapse in the ring. I'm not
the wind, the wind from the Superman punch will just break him in half. That's how frail he is.
Oh man! But that's WrestleMania. That's gonna happen this weekend. There really isn't too much news. I mean, I just have the basics like the ratings and this day in wrestling history. We could talk a little bit about Ronda Rousey. So she, in her new book, she talks about everything. She talks about Vince McMahon. She talks about Triple H. She told a story about Drew Gulak, where she said, where's the story right here? Okay, she said that. Well, the question was proposed if she ever experienced conduct from Vince McMahon. She said, no, not Vince personally, towards me, but the company culture definitely. One time I was waiting to go talk to Triple H in the writer's room. I was standing there with Bruce Pritchard and another one of the writers. God, I forgot his name. I can't believe I forgot this guy's name. It'll come back to me. Anyways, I'm standing there, and this guy was like barely even an acquaintance with, Jesus Christ, I keep fumbling my words. Barely even an acquaintance with, grabs the string of my sweatpants as I'm walking by. And nobody, like, I wasn't even looking at him. But this guy grabs the string of my sweatpants, and no one reacts as if this is abnormal. He grabs it and starts going down the hall, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? Why are you grabbing the string of my sweatpants? If my husband was standing next to me, would you feel comfortable walking up to me and grabbing the string of my sweatpants? But nobody around me acted as if it was abnormal. All the guys around me were just like, it's part of the day. I'm like, if this guy is coming up to me and doing this kind of stuff to me, where are the other people around? What's happening to these other girls when it's not in a hallway? That really put me on edge to where not only is this behavior prevalent, but it's so prevalent that people don't even realize it's a problem anymore. And then she remembered it was Drew Gulak. And she said, I confronted him there. She said, if I ever hear about you putting your hands on any other women like this or doing anything like this to me ever again, we're going to have a problem. He was like, no, I'm glad you said something to me. He really backpedaled, but it put a sour taste in my mouth about the culture there and what's considered acceptable and how to touch and treat women in the hallways and anywhere. Drew Gulak responded. Let me look up the tweet real quick. Give me a second. He responded by putting, backstage at a WWE event in 2022, I saw Ronda talking with a group in the hallway. I stopped to say hi and shake all their hands. In an attempt to shake her hand, I accidentally touched her drawstring. Completely accident, and one that I apologize to her for the mishap. So, any thoughts on that?
No.
Okay.
If nothing's gonna come out of this, I don't care.
Okay. Rube, any care to add?
Yeah, I'm not gonna put too much stock in this because, Ronda is putting herself in the spotlight and, just trying to ride that wave at the end of the day. And I think there's just a little bit of bitterness, just because how things ended in WWE, even though she was saying a lot of good, just a lot of truth about the culture and the environment. But I just think this is random, just bringing up Drew Gulak and something random, making him like, it is that culture is there, but it's just very random to bring up Drew Gulak. At the end of the day, I just think it's her trying to just just stay, in the headlines. Because she was saying some good things in terms of with the stuff with Vince and, how the women were being treated and things like that. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just, I'm not putting much stock into this. I said enough.
All right. Same here. And while you were talking, I looked up the Josh Briggs thing. So the girl wasn't allegedly 12, or the girl who was allegedly saying she was 12 wasn't really 12. And so it's basically kind of similar to the Austin Theory thing. It was a nothing burger, as Joe Numbers would say. So yeah, it's a big nothing. I mean, we'll probably find out on Saturday if it's a nothing or a something. So we'll see. All right, AEW did some releases. Was it yesterday or Monday? Monday. Due to budget cuts, quote unquote, which I'm pretty sure they are budget cuts. The releases were Parker Boudreaux, was it Boudreaux or Bordeaux? Bordeaux. I'm thinking of Scarlett Boudreaux. Anthony Henry, Stu Grayson, Dasha Curette, and the boys.
Dasha Puente, yes.
Mm-hmm. Any thoughts on that?
No big names. I mean, Stu Grayson's like the one that pops out, and Fuentes. But yeah, I just think that when you were giving out guaranteed contracts to the three biggest free agents, like, you're gonna have to trim the fat. I think that they should trim more fat, but that's just me, especially if you're not using them. But I think there's more to come, but that was like a little taste, a little sample. But I do think down the line they're going to do more budget cuts, because just them bringing in too many people, it's just like brought all these people in the span of like 12, I'll say like 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. And okay, then what? So they gotta cut costs somewhere.
Right, and you mean Justin talked about in the shop, and give credit to Justin on this. They gave Sasha or Mercedes a big ass contract. They gave Okada a big contract. I'm pretty sure they gave Ospreay a big contract, and depending on what they do with MJF, I'm pretty sure he asked for a big ass contract as well, and well deserved. So I think this is them trying to either, they need to trim the fat to kind of make up for that contract, and they're still talking to Max, and they want to be able to give them that contract by trimming the fat, so they can, make more money or make more room for money from it, if that makes sense.
And that's why I mentioned to you earlier in the shop, I don't think MJF is signed yet, because if he was signed already, right? Why not make the inevitable announcement of Leonard? Because at this point, the storyline with the Devil and the Undisputed Kingdom, that shit's better than shit. Yeah. So and there was a lot of things that came involved. Adam Cole's injured, MJF's injured, so there's a lot of things that made it flat. But at the same time, man, like, there's no benefit of withholding that information. Just say that Max is resigned. Hey, like I will even do it, even if there is a semblance of a hint of him going to WWE, right? Kill it dead. The fact that they have not done that yet gives me concern, gives me pause, and like, not saying that MJF will be at WrestleMania. Not saying he'll be in WWE the night after WrestleMania, but it gives me pause a little bit. Like, I don't know. Like, is MJF really signed? Like, I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe he is already. And Tony Khan's just withholding it for what reason? I have no idea. But again, there's no benefit at this point to withhold that information, saying that MJF is signed to AEW.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and stop the Being War 2024 storyline. They haven't really even brought that up, like, in the last last month of his touring. So, whatever.
This weekend's going to be interesting. According to sources, the firings weren't a result of financial cutbacks. Instead, the talent releases were a reorganization of how AEW plans to use its roster, and the company did not want to restrict talent from pursuing other opportunities. And they're allowed to come back in the future if they please. All right. And then lastly on the news, Motor City Machine Guns to sign with AEW. Their last... they still will be appearing on TNA Impact through the upcoming episode on Thursday, April 18th. After working the latest set of tapings, their final match is reportedly set against Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers. And there was more realization backstage that TNA that the Motor City Machine Guns will have permanently left. So, Motor City Machine Guns going to AEW. What do you think?
I love the Motor City Machine Guns. I think they're a very underrated tag team as far as like within the scheme of best tag teams of all time. I'm not saying they're top 10 or even top 20, but I think they are a very well decorated tag team, and them going to AEW will be good for them. I don't expect them to be like a huge tag team there or like tag team champions, but they're gonna have them versus the Young Bucks, maybe feud against each other where the Young Bucks is gonna win the feud. But yeah, just another tag team there. They're gonna be there. They're gonna look good for a few months, and they're not gonna do shit on TV. So. Okay. I don't see them coming to WWE or NXT because that's not the movement that NXT is doing. They're doing the youth movement down there. Don't see them getting over on the main roster. They'll have good matches. So AEW is perfect for them. So
yeah, I agree. AEW is their destination, like 1,000%. It just doesn't make sense for them to go anywhere else but AEW, and they're going to be featured for a few months, and then there's going to be like any other tag team. It's just the same song and dance with a new signing. It's hype. It's the new flavor of the month, and then they're just on the back burner. So, and considering that they're much older, it's just we're like nothing groundbreaking here.
All right, if it's all the same to you, I'm going to skip ratings this week because we're kind of going over time. I'm just going to do this day in wrestling history. Justin, do you have any articles?
No.
All right.
Just not articles, but just want to comment on one thing real quick because we're about to end the show here. I know we just talked about NXT and WrestleMania. Great, those are the two big shows, or three technically big shows this weekend. Go check out everything else that is going on. Like GCW has a lot of stuff going on. You got Defy Wrestling. You got Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. It's going to be Shayna Baszler versus Masha Slamovich tomorrow. So that's going to be pretty good. You got Effie's Big Gay Brunch. George and Ella Spring Break. So you got Progress Wrestling. You got a lot of stuff going on. So it's like WrestleMania weekend it's always about what's going on with WWE. That's the main course, but check out the other stuff too as well. Maybe you'll become a fan of some of these new up and coming wrestlers. Support indie wrestling because that's the future of pro wrestling at the end of the day. So that's all I gotta say.
Yes, sir. This day in wrestling history, I'll try to skim through these. 1985, Jack and Jerry Briscoe defeated Wahoo McDaniel and Mark Youngblood to snare the NWA Tag Team Championships in Spartanburg, South Carolina. WrestleMania in 1993 took place at Caesars Palace and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. Be the first WrestleMania to take place outdoors. And the card you had, the card would feature Tatanka defeating Shawn Michaels via countout. Luna Vachon made her WWE debut in the corner of Shawn Michaels. The Steiner brothers defeated the Head Shrinkers, Fatu and Samu.
That's where they relived that spot. Remember, Braun Breaker did that spot on NXT, that Power Slam.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Rick Steiner did it too at WrestleMania 9. So,
Doink the Clown defeated Crush after famous interference from a second doink played by Steve Skinner Kern. Razor Ramon defeated Bob Backlund in a match for the WWF Tag Team Championships. The Money Inc., Ted DiBiase, and IRS retained the belts.
That was Bob Backlund's first TV loss, like him getting pinned, ever.
Oh boy, this is before Kevin Nash beat him, right?
Way before that.
Okay,
it's like a year and a half before that.
WWF Tag Team Championships, Money Inc., Ted DiBiase, and IRS retained the belts with a disqualification win over the Mega Maniacs, Hogan, and Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Lex Luger defeated Mr. Perfect. The Undertaker defeated Giant Gonzalez by DQ. Awful match. Yokozuna. What was that?
God awful.
Mm-hmm. Yokozuna defeated Bret the Hitman Hart to win the WWF Championship after an impromptu challenge by Yokozuna's manager, Mr. Fuji. Hulk Hogan defeated the new champion to win the WWF Championship in a match that lasted less than a minute.
Ooh. This is one of the worst WrestleManias of all time.
Go get him, Hulkster!
That WrestleMania 2, WrestleMania 4, fucking 32, 25, fucking shit WrestleManias.
Yes, sir. 1998, Rob Van Dam defeated Bam Bam Bigelow to win the ECW World Television Championship in Buffalo, New York. This would be the start of RVD's record 700-day reign. He vacated the title in March 2000 due to injury. Sorry, I had to itch. 2000, Shawn Michaels wrestled his first match since his 1988 retirement when he defeated Venom in a promotion called Texas Wrestling Alliance. He did not wrestle again until he officially came back to the ring in August 2002 when he faced Triple H at SummerSlam. TWA. The day after WrestleMania, 27, The Rock and John Cena agreed to face each other in the main event of WrestleMania a year later. The first and to date only time a WrestleMania main event has been confirmed a year in advance. God damn it. My leg's itchy. 2014 Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor 8 takes place in West Wego, Louisiana. The main event sees Adam Cole defeat Jay Briscoe to be confirmed as the undisputed Ring of Honor champion. Earlier in the card, Jay Lethal defeated Tommaso Ciampa in a 2 out of 3 falls match to win the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. Got 2 more. 2016, the day after shockingly winning the Intercontinental Championship in the opening match of WrestleMania 32, Zack Ryder lost the title to The Miz on Raw. Okay, I got something wrong. So for whatever reason, this is giving me the list for tomorrow. Okay, whatever. Then 2018, April 4th, Johnny Valiant perishes in a car accident at the age of 72. Tomorrow, not today, birthdays: Chelsea Green, Tiger Uno, John Zanding, and Ulf Herman. Tomorrow, their birthdays. April 3rd was... April 3rd, the night after WrestleMania 2000, 2 titles changed hands on Raw in L.A. Eddie Guerrero defeated Chris Jericho to win back the European Championship. Also, Crash Holly won back the WWF Hardcore Championship from his storyline cousin, Hardcore Holly. 1995, Alundra Blaze won the WWF Women's Championship at a Monday Night Raw in Poughkeepsie. She defeated Bull Nakano. Your favorite match, Justin?
That was really good.
93, Don Morocco defeated the Sandman in Radnor, Pennsylvania to win the Eastern Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. 1982, Ricky Koshu won the WWF International Heavyweight Championship in Tokyo, Japan to win a victory over Tatsumi Fujiyama. Also in 2000, ahead of a planned company-wide reboot the following week, WCW elected to run a best-of show and Monday Night Raw's time slot rather than a regular edition of the show, which I remember. 2000, at a SmackDown taping in Oklahoma City, Triple H defeated Chris Jericho to win the WWF Intercontinental Championship. 2005, WrestleMania 21 took place at Staples Center in LA, California. The double main event consisted of John Cena defeating JBL to win the WWE Championship, and Batista main eventing to defeat Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. The rest of the card, Rey Mysterio defeated Eddie Guerrero. Edge won the first ever Money in the Bank match, which consisted of Kane, Shelton Benjamin, Christian, Chris Jericho, and Redacted. The Undertaker defeated Randy Orton. Trish Stratus defeated Christy Hemme for the Women's Championship. Kurt Angle defeated Shawn Michaels and made him submit, which was a fucking classic. Aki Bono defeated the Big Show in a sumo match. Awful. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think we're cool on this. And then WrestleMania took place in Atlanta, Georgia in 2011, which was an awful WrestleMania, but The Rock returned, so cool. 2012, Chief Jay Strongbow passed away at the age of 84. 2016, WrestleMania 32 took place at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. And 2018, WWE taped the final of their Mixed Match Challenge tournament. The Miz and Asuka defeated Charlotte Flair and Bobby Roode. And today is also Lance Storm's birthday. So happy birthday, Lance Storm. And that is it. That's everything. So that is the show, peeps. We want to thank everybody for showing up. I want to thank, of course, Justin, as always, for being my my podcasting tag team partner in crime.
Sure. Absolutely.
And I also want to thank Mr. Ruben Prime for showing up, for coming on the show and to talk shop.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt.
Yes, sir. And we want to thank everybody else who stayed a little overboard. I mean, it's WrestleMania weekend, so fuck it. We're going to go overboard tonight. But, yeah, thank everybody. Shout out to everybody who does support the show. Shout out to Miss. Fuck. It's late, people. I'm sorry. Shout out to Mish, who made all this possible for putting our podcast on the Wrestling Soup Discord. Thank you, Mish. And just thank you to everybody who's a friend of the show, who's a friend of ours, and supports us and loves us. And you can find this podcast anywhere that podcasts are distributed, like iTunes, Spotify. You can find it on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. And, Ruben, is it okay if I can make an announcement on our show?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, like I pointed out last week, the Patreon is no more. The shows, however, are still going to be ongoing, like me and Ruben's show, Culture Attack. I've already downloaded the old episodes, and I sent them to Ruben. I believe he might have gave me some episodes, too. I just saw my email. But our show is going to be ongoing. We don't exactly have a start date just yet. It will more than likely be after Mania. So look out for Culture Attack Live to the public. You guys are going to love it. We love it. We love doing it. And we know you guys are going to love it in return. It's
Absolutely.
But Ruben, you're the host of the show. Explain Culture Attack to the people.
Well, it's everything related, pop culture, films, movies, TV shows, gaming, just every aspect of culture, and, with a little retro twist to it. Me, I love, all things retro, but also modernize, modern spin on some stuff, and just our commentary. And it's, just like, I know I'm the host, but it's basically like our child, our brainchild, if you will. And yeah, like the decision to come, just bring the episode to the, to the public, is definitely something I had envisioned, and Drew was on board with the idea. So definitely stay tuned, after Mania. Things are crazy right now with Mania, and, and yeah, just stay tuned, guys. It's going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those, and I just can't wait, because now it's the chains are loose, as you will. So I'm excited for what I have in store, and also I'm happy for this, and for Drew to be along for the ride. Like, it's going to be fun. So definitely stay tuned to Culture Attack. live, to the public ear, and maybe to the public eye. Who knows? But definitely to the public ear. So definitely stay tuned.
Yes, sir. You heard it here first. You heard it here first, folks, and just stay tuned because Ruben and myself, we got some good shit for you. You're gonna love it. And Justin, talk to the people about Spinebusters. Tell them about it. Tell them where they can find it.
Yeah, Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com. Got already t-shirts up and ready. That's you can be able to go on and check out the Just Enjoy Wrestling t-shirt, the I Am a Mark t-shirt. You got the Hardcore Men's Wrestling t-shirt. You got the Weapons of Pro Wrestling t-shirt, the Heel Heat t-shirt, the Vanilla Midget t-shirt, the Pro Wrestling is Real, People Are Fake t-shirts, the Star Ratings t-shirt. Got an array of designs on the website you guys can check out. And men's t-shirts, tank tops, unisex tank tops, and women's t-shirts as well. Spinebuster Tees on Instagram. Follow me there. Actually, kind of started a subscription service over there as well. Got, I believe, 8 subscriptions so far. So it's kind of like a Patreon, but it's on Instagram. So I have 8 so far. So definitely want to try to reach to a goal of 10 by at least maybe the end of the month. Maybe we'll see. But so I appreciate if you're listening. I appreciate that. Also as well. The main course, the main du jour, Spinebuster Tees at Wonderland of the Americas. Just moved spots. Had a long fucking day today. Gonna sleep like a baby after this. But you come visit, come shop for your array of your wrestling needs, from action figures to Funko Pops, trading cards, obviously t-shirts, autograph 8x10s. Literally everything that you can think of as a wrestling fan, it will be there for you as a collectible for you. So Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com, Spinebuster Tees on Instagram, and Spinebuster Tees at the Wonderlands of the Americas here in San Antonio, Texas.
You heard that, peeps. Spinebuster Tees. And all right, we're done. I want to apologize in advance for not pressing the record button and losing 14 minutes of the beginning of the show, but hey, what can you do? Shit happens. You just gotta learn from it. But anyways, guys, we will see you next week, and have fun with WrestleMania. Have fun with other wrestling, not just WrestleMania. You can, there's indies. There's indies out there. There's I know if you're in San Antonio, RCW has a WrestleMania weekend show, and
not this weekend.
Okay, not this weekend. GCW, like you mentioned, and just other shows. So, have fun. Have fun with WrestleMania weekend, and that's it, peeps. We're done. Have a good night. We'll see you next week, and peace out.
The Yari Show begins now.
Peace.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.